Jasianna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm so excited that you're here. And joining us on Meeting You podcast is Jasianna Ortiz.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to be here in your studio.
Thank you.
I don't get to do a lot of in-person because, one, we started the show during COVID.
Right, so a lot of things, everything was online.
Right, so I had to do everything online. And then the other benefit that we have is I get to talk to people all over the world.
Right.
So obviously it doesn't allow for in-person. But when I get to do in-person, it's really exciting.
No, I could imagine.
Yeah. And I think I've probably done about a dozen or so in-person interviews now. So you're part of a very select group of people.
That makes me feel so special.
But why don't we actually start by you just telling us a little bit about the space that we're in right here?
Yeah, so this is the first location of Apothecary Braids.
Nice.
Prior to this, I was located in North Andover and I had a different business. So this is actually, when I moved to this location, it's my first solo venture.
Nice.
So that's kind of how Apothecary Braids came to be. And I've only been here for a year.
Okay.
But I love my space.
I saw online on your social that you were celebrating your anniversary.
Yes,
so
I was.
that must have felt like a
March.
pretty amazing.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially because honestly, since I've started braiding, I've been moving like every year. Like I've had like, I want to say like 4 different spaces by now. So it feels nice to be here for a year and like to be reaching 2 years. Like I'm actually like I'm here. I feel very stable. Like I'm not like on the market looking for anything right now. So
and client base is starting to build. And you're
yes. Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's been amazing. My clientele has been great, and I just honestly I love like how I've been able to create this space and like just like the vibes I'm able to kind of implement.
I like the vibe in here. It's very chill, with the walls and the colors. It's very welcoming and inviting. Off camera, you were setting up aromatherapy. So
Yes.
We've got music. I'm sure you do the same thing for your clients.
I do, yes. I like to set the scene.
Yeah, that's really great. So the obvious question is, why braiding? Why did you decide to do this? There's a million things. You obviously are a talented young woman. Why this?
Honestly, so when I first started braiding, I have been able to braid since I was younger. I've always done hair. I practiced braids on my mom when I was younger. I actually, this was before the age of YouTube. So when I learned how to braid, I was self-taught. And in my little 5-year-old head, I thought that I invented how to do Dutch braids and French braids. So come to my surprise, when people are doing it too, I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
This is my thing.
This is what so that was humbling. But growing up, I never really thought I would get into hair. I also was like very into makeup at the time too, and I always used to say like, oh, I would never do this for like a career, like like this would never be something I would do. This is like so like not a secure job.
Yeah, maybe something I might do with my friends. And my family,
exactly, like as a hobby,
not a career.
But come 2020, actually, I got my hair braided for the first time by somebody, and it didn't come out too well. And I had paid a lot of money, and I was like, I could have done this myself. I was like, first of all, I did have that moment. I was like, I really could have like done this myself. Like, and it started out as a joke at first, and I started doing my friend's hair and stuff like that. And I was like, I could really like do people are like charging like good money for this, like
why not me?
And why not me? Exactly. And during the time, like this is COVID, I had already gotten laid off from my job, and I wasn't really doing anything with my time. So I started like taking clients just like as a little like side hustle.
Kind of like your friends and close.
Just like friends, people I had on Snapchat, that were willing to come to my house and risk Corona.
They're part of your pod.
Exactly.
They were part of your pod.
They were part of like, people I already knew and stuff like that. They knew I wasn't doing anything crazy, We wore masks. It was as legit as it could be at the time.
But out of your home.
Out of my home, So my dining room table, I started taking clients, and that was good. I think that only lasted for like the summer, and then come around like October, I remember I started working. Things started like opening up again, and I actually took a job at Walmart. And I did not like it there. I did not have a good time.
For you.
Not for me at all. And I had a friend he was in barbering school at the time, and he kept on telling me, he's like, why don't you go to cosmetology school, get your license, so you could like work at a salon.
Because at the time, out of your house.
Not just out of my house, and like I could be official, because the house thing, it wasn't.
Well, and ultimately, that's not scalable.
It wasn't, and didn't like enjoy it. Like, it was just, it was not the vibe at all.
Right. Yep.
Having people know where you live and stuff like that. It just feels like
it just feels better for everyone.
Better for everyone, exactly. More professional to like work out of a salon. So, you know, after a while, I kind of thought about it. I'm just like, you know, like I could do hair in the meantime until I figure out what I want to do. I was also in college at this time, but I ended up dropping out because I didn't know what I was honestly doing.
Yeah, so why spend the money to be there if you don't know what's
exactly. And college is not easy either. It's very hard, and I feel like you have to have a purpose when you go to college. Sure. It's not really for someone who's just willy-nilly like, like, you know, I want to go, I don't really know what for.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all. No.
So you're like, this is going to be a better calling for me.
Yes, this is going to be like, you know, something I could do in the meantime. I'm not like, you know, wasting my time, stressing, wasting my money. And I could do this for now. And then when I figure out what I want to do, I'll go back, you know, like it's always going to be there. So
in what time frame, what year did you enroll into cosmetology school?
So I enrolled in 2021.
Okay.
My first...
So 4 years ago.
Yeah, I started in June of that year.
Okay.
And I graduated and got my license in 2022.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
You.
So, the whole idea, though, behind braiding for you, like you said, you mentioned it's something that started when you were very young.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
There's a cultural component to it, right? It's really important to your culture. It's really important to you personally. When I think about entrepreneurs and they go out and they try to solve a problem, sometimes that problem is very personal. Sometimes that problem is very like societal, right? I feel like yours is somewhere in the middle.
It is.
Right?
It really is. Yeah. Honestly, when I first started braiding, while it was for like it was a joke at first.
Right.
Why I fell in love with it and why I ended up kind of like sticking with it, I've been doing it for 5 years now, is because I really enjoyed being able to, first of all, make people's lives easier. Sure. Having your hair done is a blessing, especially like when you live a hectic life, you're in school, you have kids. Right. It's amazing to just wake up and not have to worry about your hair. It's time safe. And, you know, it really is good for, at the time, I was also going through transitioning my own natural hair. I was going from consistently straightening my hair and just damaging it to really taking care of it and really nurturing my curls. So protective styles was a really big part of that. It was a really big part of, you know, like doing something with my hair that's like low manipulative and it's not going to be putting a lot of pressure on my hair. It's not going to be adding extra tension and I could just leave my hair alone. That's like the best way for your hair to grow. So just leave it alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you're not damaging it chemically.
Exactly, chemically. And like, so it was actually kind of funny because I've always been someone, I love dyeing my hair. I love dyeing my hair. I love color, as you can see. There's not really a lick of black in here. I love like, just like everything colorful. And so something that like really has become a thing as like my niche for braiding is color tucking. I love like being able to
kind of what you have right there.
What I have right now. So I'm blonde underneath this, but right now my hair's black. I love being able to change up your hair color without committing to it, without really damaging your hair chemically.
Right. You can come and go with that.
You can come and go, and like you don't have to commit to a color. That's really perfect for people like me because I love just like switching it up.
Things around.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So when you think about your approach to your clients, like this is a very personal thing that you do, right? And it takes a long time to do it well.
Yes.
Right. I can't even, you can tell me about how long someone needs to sit and have you work on them, right? So what's your approach to making sure that they are, like, sometimes people aren't super communicative in telling you what it is that they want. How do you kind of draw it out of them? How do you work with them through this whole process?
So it's definitely been a trial and error. Definitely was not as easy as I've made the process now. But now I'm just like I try to get as much detail as possible. So like when you book with me, there's a whole form that you have to fill out of like what color you want your hair. I have an area where you can upload pictures of like inspiration because a lot of the time like people will book something and they actually want something completely different and like it's really hard
for you.
In the braiding world there's a lot of different names for the same style, so it gets tricky and I understand that. So I try to make it where it's as easy for clients to like just show me what they want and I translate it into like
and ahead of time too, right? So instead of coming in with a picture that morning or that afternoon.
No, we definitely talk about it before and then if I ever notice that like a client either hasn't filled it out or like I see something that I'm like, I'm a bit confused about, I reach out and I always
that dialogue.
Yes, exactly. And I'm very good about like, I know that like sometimes a lot of people in the braiding community specifically will be like, oh, you know, like my website's here, you know, everyone asks me these questions that are on my website, but I'm very open to those questions.
FAQs.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I'm very open to the questions that may already be there, just because it's easier that way. Like it's easier to just answer. Exactly,
right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is than just like reading something and they don't understand it still.
Yeah.
It's easier to ask me, and I'm okay with that.
Is that a little bit unique in your approach, do you think? Do you find that other stylists do that as well, or do you feel that's kind of unique for you?
Yeah, I feel like there probably is definitely, like, I would hope, honestly, I would hope there's other stylists that also are able to be patient. But I think that also for me comes from working in customer service, back to like Walmart and other retail jobs I've had previously. I think that
it's important for you to like
it's important, you know. It's easier to answer questions than to be like, oh well, like I feel like if you're gonna respond to a client, why would I respond saying go check my website when I can just give you the answer? Well, you know, like it's
you see those like comedy skits where like a woman will go to get her hair dyed and they'll take the towel off and it'll be like this awful color and she'll like, oh my god, what happened to me? I imagine the same thing. This process is so long, it takes such a long time to
it's
do.
just like I don't want to get it wrong, honestly. Like
have to undo it,
I'd rather take the extra step than like a client to be like, look at me in my face and be like, I actually don't like this when we finish 9 hours later, and be like, oh okay,
legit, it's 9 hours.
Sometimes depending on the style, for like the small braids and stuff like that, sometimes
and men, women, you serve all genders.
I serve kids, I serve men, women, everything under the sun.
Yeah, that's amazing. In terms of your sort of like drive, being a solopreneur like you are, right? I mean, you are here in a suite with other beauticians and stylists and spa, but where's that motivation come from? Jasianna, is it that I want to do things for myself, with myself? I know one day maybe you'll have 2 or 3, 4 people working for you, but where's that motivation come from right now to kind of keep it going for you?
Honestly, I really enjoy like owning my own business. I have had a lot of jobs, honestly, even though I am very young. I started working as soon as I could at 14. And I went to Notre Dame Cristo Rey, where they have an entrepreneur work study program, where I was doing corporate work study jobs in high school. So I was
14.
Exactly. So I was able to get like that office job experience and like work in all these different environments, and I was able to say, I don't like this lifestyle. I don't like this corporate.
For me.
It wasn't for me. So like I kind of knew early on that I wanted to own my own business, not necessarily know what I would do, but I just knew I wanted to. I just knew I wanted to be able to like work for myself and kind of just like be able to embody what I believe in my business, know?
Yeah, it's important. I believe that, so much of the small businesses are really like the cornerstone of entrepreneurship.
Yes,
right.
I definitely agree.
Those people who choose to be small business owners like yourself, giving back to their community, having a business in your community, right? Because you live and work in the same community.
Right.
You're serving people in your community. Eventually, you will hire people, most likely, from your community.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Definitely. So I want to kind of continue to pull on the community thread. You are a graduate of the Entrepreneurship for All Accelerator program, which is a program that I used to mentor at. I don't anymore, but I was a mentor there for many, many years. It's a program that's very near and dear to my heart. How did that happen?
So it actually kind of happened by coincidence. I was getting a massage done by a alumni from EforAll, and coincidentally, that massage was actually like a Christmas present. So, it was a gift card that I had that led me there. And she was telling me about it because, I was telling her about my business at the time and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, like you should really like join EforAll. And at the time, I already had an LLC, but the way she was describing it to me, I was like, I really don't know what I'm doing right now, actually. So this actually sounds very informative.
Like, just like making it up as like,
exactly. Like, I'm just kind of doing stuff, like, hoping for the best. So this actually sounds really informative. And, I told my business partner about it at the time, and we thought it was an amazing idea. So we were lucky enough, actually, to get chosen on our first round of applying.
Oh, wow. That's really impressive.
It was we were very lucky.
That's rare. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They made us see it that way when they accepted us. They were telling us about, like, how many applications they get and stuff like that. So it definitely felt like we were meant to be there. And honestly, I don't have enough good things to say. Enough not good things to say about EforAll. I love EforAll.
Absolutely.
In short, I love them. Like the entire
program. You did the program in Lawrence or in Lowell?
I did it in Lawrence.
In Lawrence, okay.
Yes, I did the Merrimack Valley one.
Makes sense since you're here.
Yes, so that program, it was just so informative. Like, it was such a crash course. I also love learning. So, like...
It is a crash course.
It's a crash course, but I loved it. Like, I love the accelerated pace of it. Yep. There's never a minute where you're bored. Like, you're always learning something new. There's always something new for you to work on. And I think my favorite part about the program is, like, you know, in high school and college, you're working on these theoretical problems, right? Like, they give you these theoretical problems and stuff like that. But EforAll, those are your problems. Right. These are your prompts. These are prompts for your business. These things that you're filling out for classes, that's things that you're using in your business. Right. Like, it's not just a theoretical. It's not just
something you're going to like, oh, I did this. Isn't that cool? I can put it on the refrigerator.
Right, exactly. Like, it's not something, exactly. Like, this is something that literally directly applies to your business that, like, you will be using.
Building a financial plan.
Exactly. You're building your business plan. You know, you're building your elevator pitch. These are things that you use in real life.
Every day.
So, it's honestly amazing how, like, everything you learn there is utilized. Like,
and how did you do in the program?
We actually did really good.
Yeah.
We won the Christina Hamilton prize. Yes, and then we won another prize later on as well during like the quarterlies. Yeah.
2 prize winner.
Yeah, no, we did do really well.
That's good. Well, I'm sure you put the work in.
Yes.
Because I mean, I think for maybe folks listening, they might really want to understand it's work.
It is work. Yeah, it is definitely. It's a business program, just accelerated. Like, it's short. It's only 3-month program, but honestly, like, the amount of things that you learn and the amount of work that you have to put in, that could be a year-long program.
Absolutely.
If it was like slowly paced and like they went deeper into subjects, it could easily be a year-long program.
And you were matched with mentors during that process?
Yes, I was. I had amazing. And honestly, I think that's why we did so well as well. We had amazing mentors.
Good for you.
Like,
yeah, they do a lot of curating.
We were blessed with our team. Honestly.
Make sure they have the right mentors.
Yeah, no.
So 2-time award winner, by the way, right here.
By the way.
Award, and that's how we found each other.
Yes.
Because you were one of their alumni spotlights recently.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
How did that go? Did they like that process?
Yeah, honestly, it was really cool to kind of like do like a little virtual interview type of thing. I was really excited, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was at a good timing too, because so many things were happening. It was around my year anniversary, so there were things I could actually talk about.
I love saying that coincidence that it was your year anniversary, so you could say, I've been in business for a year now since the accelerator.
Yes.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, one of their biggest success metrics is that you continue on.
Exactly, yes. Right. We have been in business for 3 years past. That's one of like their biggest metrics for promotion.
So that's sustainability, right? Absolutely. Now you've got a whole year plus that, right? As Apothecary Braids, right? And do you have a partner right now, or are you?
I am
solopreneur right now. I just wanted to be clear about that because you mentioned a partner, but
my previous business, the Pink Room. Yes, I just a partner.
Okay, and that's a whole other. I mean, we talked a little bit about that already, like sort of the pressure being a solopreneur. It all relies on you. You have to do everything. I think a lot of the young women that like tune into this show, they're worried, Jasianna, that they can't do it. Like they feel like I want to start, but I can't start. Yeah. Right. What would you say to some of those folks about like getting over the fear of starting?
Honestly, the hardest part is starting. So just know that I always tell people you don't have to rush it. You know, if you have that idea, you can ponder it for however long you need to. But just know that once you do start, that was the hardest part. That was the hardest part. Like once you do start, just have the comfort of knowing that like you just did the hardest part about starting your own business, which is starting. It's starting. Because like once you get into the flow, once you start somewhere, you get all this information, and then you end up somewhere else. You keep on going, you keep on learning, you keep on having new questions, and like it'll lead you there. Like the path, like you'll build your own path.
I get it. Talk to me about your community, like whether the community of the folks that are right outside the studio that you share space with, or just your community in general. How do they lift you? How do they support you? What do you need from them?
Honestly, like I have a really good community. I am definitely blessed with the people I've met along this journey. I've had clients that have started with me from my living room.
So
from my living room. Yeah, that have
6 years now.
6 years almost. Yeah, exactly. I cannot thank them enough. They definitely just like pour in the motivation in me to like just remind me to keep going. Like when I first started out, I used to take long time, like
well, you're finding your way.
Yeah, styles that I would take like 4 hours, but now I would take like 10 with before, and yet they still stuck with me. That is always going through my head, and like the continuous support that I get from just my community in the area, from the girls out here. Like we just pour love and light into each other, and like you know, there's no competition or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like support and like girls.
Yeah.
And it's just such like, you know, it's just a fun community.
You seem like the type of person, and we don't know each other that well, obviously, but you seem like the type of person who does believe in that, like, look, we're not in competition with each other. There is enough here for everyone.
Absolutely.
Let's support each other. Let's be successful with each other.
Yes, especially in the braiding community. I mean, like, there's only so many heads you could braid in a day. I love referring people, especially like for styles I don't do. Like, for example, I don't offer twist. I love referring my clients who ask me to someone else.
Someone else can do that kind of stuff.
Yes, I do. I'm like, oh, I could not do that for you. Or even if it's something that like I know I don't do too well, I am the first one to be like, I could do it, but I would honestly probably suggest like looking into this person
if that makes sense.
You know, like if they have availability, because they could probably do it so much better.
And that shows a lot of like empathy and maturity yourself, that you don't that you realize like this is probably not the right situation, so I'm going to refer you out and I'm going to focus on my strengths and my clients.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
this is an industry. I mean, beauty in general, right?
Yes.
And style, and it's such a fast moving industry. Right. You know, my own daughter works in the fashion industry. How do you kind of keep pace with what's going on? Where do you draw your sort of like education from, and I guess also your inspiration from?
Yeah, so it definitely is fast paced. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but you know, the best thing that I have done honestly is I just kind of stay intact with the community. So I stay like, you know, my Instagram, I really only follow other braiders and stuff like that. And people who are like,
specific,
you know, exactly in my niche.
Intentional.
Yes. And I'm very intentional about who I follow on my business account, just because I feel like that's the best way to keep up with trends without having to exert so much energy and effort into researching what's trending right now. You know, it's whatever I keep on seeing on my For You page now. So it makes it a little bit easier for sure.
Letting the AI and the algorithm work for you.
Yes, exactly. You know, and any way I can. Yeah, definitely try to.
And then what if someone comes in with something that is like way like out of train? Do you kind of just work? I mean, work with the client, or at the end of the day you just do what they want?
I honestly I let clients bring in what they want, and if I could do it I will. The only thing that like I ever really turned down that I guess is what someone consider outdated is I don't do traditional box braids, but that comes down to the fact that again I don't do them the best. I don't do them, so
you're not as comfortable doing this.
So
you don't have it as a service.
Exactly, I don't have it as a service. So like when people ask me for those services, I'm like, that's something I wouldn't want to help you with. I just like don't think that it would be worth your money. You know. Well, and that says a lot about your character, that you're not just going to take someone's money and just because I can't do it. I'm just like or like I also like just like kind of ask them, you know, why do you want this service? Not unless it's like a better alternative to box braids in a lot of cases of just like the tension on your hair and like the health of your hair, which I'm very big on. So. Sometimes I just ask them, like, you know, like if they are really adamant about it, I'll refer them. But I first have that conversation of like, you know, like, have you had knotless trays before? You know, like sometimes, and I've had a lot of clients transition over once they feel the magic of the knotless braids and like the way it's like life changing.
It's a very vulnerable thing that people do, right? Yeah. They put themselves in the care of you, the care of your hands. Yes. How does that make you feel when you're, you know, let's all take a break. When you've got that like huge vulnerability that's going on, like. Yeah, it definitely is sometimes nerve-wracking. Especially with new clients, because you never really know what they're thinking. You never really know, like, especially like, because, you know, even me, I am a very timid client when I'm in somebody's chair. I'm not like gonna be like, oh, like, you know, like, even if I see something that's a little bit off, sometimes I'll keep it to myself, and I'm scared of those clients when it's me who's behind the chair. Because like, please tell me what you know, like, please tell me, like, you know, like, does this look good? Like, I try to check in as often as I can. But it definitely. It is very rewarding when they do love it. When, you know, like, I spent the entire appointment sweating, wondering if they love it. And then, like, we're done. And they're like, oh, my God, like, I love it. Or even, like, some clients, like, they don't tell me exactly when they leave the chair, but they'll post it later. And I'll be like, okay, she likes it. She likes it. What's in the name? Okay, so Apothecary Braids. So basically where it stems from is an apothecary was, you know, it's an older term, but it was used for people who they make medicine and they make just like different medical drugs basically.
with plants.
Right.
Yeah.
It stem from an all natural, holistic,
all natural,
approach.
holistic approach. Yes. So, all the products that I use for my braids, they're also all clean products.
Wow.
I try to stay away from any merch chemicals, preservatives, and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's a very big part of like my hair journey and just like the mission for Apothecary Braids. But the name Apothecary Braids, it also, there's a second part to it that hasn't been like
fully realized yet, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been like, it's still in the works right now, but there's like a second part to that like it, I feel like makes a little bit more sense than it just being about hair braiding.
I got it.
It's more about like the products and stuff like that.
So you're getting there. That's part of the, as you phase your business, as you think about what's next, you evolve your business. You're thinking about some of those other aspects.
Exactly.
That's really cool. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Oh, stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah, that's in the works right now. So I'm very excited for that.
That's really going to be great. When you kind of, think about what will be success for you, what defines success for you here, what are some of those things that come to mind for? I mean, I know client service and customer satisfaction is huge on your list.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you need to make enough money to sustain your life and pay your rent and pay your bills and everything else. But what else kind of feels successful for you?
Honestly, so I guess passing the knowledge is definitely something that's in the plans for sure. Yeah. I definitely want to get into like teaching and just like being able to pass down all the things that I've learned and I've come up with over the years. I feel like braiding isn't something that is sustainable to do forever for my body wise.
Yeah, we were just talking about that again.
Exactly.
Like it's a lot. You're on your feet. You're
all day,
your
stuff
fingers,
like that.
Your hands.
Exactly. So it's definitely not something that like being booked out is not the answer, honestly. So it's something that I've definitely put a lot of thought into as well. But I definitely want to be able to pass on the knowledge and just kind of create community around Apothecary Braids and like what the business stands for and kind of just like not necessarily come up with a new age, but just another aspect of braiding that I feel like has been left out in the community a lot of the time. Yeah, there's a lot of connection between braiding and tension alopecia and stuff like that. So I feel like those are important aspects that I implement that I would like to expand.
Do you want to explain real quick for some folks that might not know what tension alopecia is?
Tension alopecia, basically what that is it's very popular when you're doing a lot of tension hairstyles. So like if you do a lot of tight ponytails, if you do a lot of even like tight braids and stuff like that, any type hairstyle that you're putting a lot of tension on the root of your hair,
pulling,
the pulling and the traction of it, it can lead to balding. And it can lead to permanent balding as well, like not just temporary as well. So that is something that causes leads to breaking and thinning of the hair, especially around the hairline specifically.
Makes sense.
So that is something that, we're trying to prevent and
absolutely.
Like treat it, like also like for people who already have it, we're trying to work around it as well.
Yeah, help them kind of restoratively.
Yes, exactly. Yes, instead of like worsening it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that could be terrible, right?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
When you think about the different types of services that you offer today, which I know is, you've talked a little bit about some underculling and some of the cool stuff that you do, and you've got these beautiful beads in your hair. Are there other services you're excited to potentially explore, or is this a situation where, Jasianna, you think like, I've got a core mission here and I need to kind of stay in that lane?
Honestly, I kind of go back and forth with that a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Originally, when I first got into hairdressing, I was really into curly hair. I was really into like curly cuts and just like nurturing and taking care of curly hair. I kind of got intimidated by it, if I'm being honest. It is very nerve-wracking to, first of all, cutting hair in general. First of all, I'll start with I praise people who do hair cutting because I am scared.
Not for you.
It's not really for me at all.
Is it more scary for someone to come in and say, take like, this 5 inches off my hair, than to ask them for you to do like an elaborate braid? That's more scary
Absolutely.
for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. I feel like when it comes to braids, it's easy. If you don't like them, we just take them out and it's okay. Everything's okay. But when I cut a little bit too short, we cannot glue that back on.
I guess.
So, and I have been experienced.
You have to wait for it to grow out.
Right, exactly. I have experienced a bad haircut, and I know how.
I think everybody has at one point in their life.
How bad that could be. So I tried to. I tried to
avoid that.
Avoid that. I do not want any responsibility.
So you're not. So in other words, probably at no time in the future will people be able to book you for.
Probably not. I really want to get into curly cuts, but I think that confidence is just not there at the moment.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. maybe possibly, but
then again, as you think about growing your enterprise
Mm-hmm.
here and adding other services, maybe you bring in other people to do those other
yes,
services. Right?
exactly.
That would be sort of the natural
that would
selection
probably,
point.
yeah. I think I have learned in the last couple of years that I cannot do everything,
Right.
no matter how much I would like to. There's just, I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
No one person can do it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm always interested too about, like, as a solopreneur, you obviously have a life.
Yes.
Somewhat. And you have this business, which in ways it can become your entire life. It
Yes.
can consume you. I talk to a lot of the women who visit with us about this concept, like work-life balance doesn't really exist. There's really no such thing as work-life balance.
There isn't.
At best, maybe you can blend, but not that.
exactly.
So for you, how do you disconnect from this? And when you need to disconnect, how do you do it?
Honestly, the best thing I have done for myself in the last couple months, I got a business phone.
Oh, that's so smart. So it's separate from your personal phone.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
currently
Yeah.
ringing
Which is
for
ringing.
some
Yeah.
reason.
It's okay.
I usually don't get calls on that phone, so that's kind of interesting.
Somebody willed that into it.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I hope they'll leave a voice message so I can call them back later. But yeah, that was the best thing I did for myself.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was earlier this year was really overwhelming, honestly. It's been very busy this summer.
Yeah.
And I'm working these, like 10-hour shifts sometimes.
Sure.
And when I come out of work and I see on my phone subscription, text messages, client DMs, family DMs,
it's like,
friends. I just turn it back around and I'm like, I do not want to touch this.
Right.
And I wasn't being a good solopreneur because I was not responding to my clients. And that's not a good look at all.
Well, you need your clients.
I do need my clients.
The business.
Yes, exactly. So I didn't want to be known as the girl who doesn't respond.
Right.
So I did make that decision, and honestly, it's the best thing. Like having those lives separate.
So just those small steps.
I
right?
can just turn the
Those
phone
small
off
measures.
when I'm
Absolutely.
not working. I just exactly. Like when I go on vacation, I just turn that off and I just forget that I'm a business owner for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And
that's important, right? Because you do have to be able to turn that off. You need your mental wellness.
Yes.
In addition to
yes,
this,
you do.
Right? You need your ability because you will not be sustainable and be able to be the best business person that you can be
100%.
if you're like flat.
If I'm just overwhelmed and
burnt out.
no, 100%. And there's so many different hats that you have to wear when you're a solopreneur, especially in the beauty industry where social media is a thing now too.
Yeah.
Like we have to kind of be directors and content creators as well with the job. So it is very easy to work 24/7.
Yeah,
like there is honestly always work to do. There's never nothing to do.
You have to restock the things you need.
Always make sure that everything's like
book your clients.
Make sure everything's in order. Do inventory.
Pay your bills.
Pay my so many things that I remember to do all the time when I'm working, and I'm like, oh, I have to write that down. I have to write that down. I have to get that done.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that you're trying to also take care of sort of you and your wellness. Because again, I think a lot of solopreneurs, they do get burnt out, right? And before they have an opportunity to get to the next level, potentially.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I also think it's very important to have people around you who remind you that you need to take time off. You need to take a second. Like my boyfriend, my friends are very good at reminding me, like, girl, fuck out. Like,
fuck out. It's time for you.
Fuck out. Like,
take
disconnect. Like, be here. Be here right now. You're not working right now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's important.
And then in terms of when people are like coming to you and asking you for advice, are you like, are you giving that, or are you sort of
I definitely I try to give as much advice as I can. Honestly, I'm not too sure if it's ever good advice because I'm still learning about it too. But I definitely share the knowledge of what I know. I actually was a mentor for my first time
congratulations.
For their winter cohort
that's so cool.
Last year.
From accelerator graduate to award winner to mentor.
Yes.
Oh, we forgot alumni spotlight.
Right, alumni spotlight mentor. So that was a really good experience. I was kind of nervous at first because I was like, I haven't really been in business for that long. Like, how much knowledge do I really have? But at the same time, I have learned definitely a lot of things in the last couple of years. So even if I could give someone that little bit of knowledge, that's that's something.
My approach has always been, if I could just show you one mistake that I made, so you don't make that same mistake.
Then that's one step closer.
One step closer. You have that one less heartbreak.
Exactly.
Than I have to.
100%.
If you could do the magic wand and you could wave the magic wand, what is that? What is and your wish comes true? What's that? What is that? I know it's a big question.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Yeah,
I would say, I really wish that I would have. Well, for one, I really wish that I would have saved every single PowerPoint I did in EforAll.
Oh, that's smart.
I have asked Sophon before as well. If I could retake the program a couple times, I just really wish that I would have captured all that information.
I love that.
And just because, you know, at the time I was in it for a separate business, and even though I was still doing the same thing and it's still similar, it's kind of different now.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of wish I could have like reapplied all of that knowledge that I got to this business in
venture.
the moment. Yeah.
I get that. That makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
I feel like there was just so many useful things that like, my brain isn't always the best. So
Sure.
like,
well, you're absorbing a lot of information.
A lot of information at once.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
to like try to like implement all of them, like damn, like I know I learned something about this. I can't remember what it was. I wish I just had all those PowerPoints to just reteach myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's plug. How do people find you?
So Instagram, Braided by Jasy, Facebook, Braided by Jasy, Apothecary Braids as well, but Apothecary Braids is, since she's on the back plan of like that thing that that's
other
coming
thing we're
up,
working on?
the other thing that we're working
stealthy
on.
thing we're
Yeah,
working
so she's
on?
not that active, but you can reach me there as well.
Okay. But Braids by Jasy.
Yes, Braided by Jasy. And
Braided
then
by Jasy.
Braided by Jasy, yes.
Perfect.
One
Yeah.
S
Okay.
and a Y.
All right, perfect. So that's how we get a hold of you.
Yes.
And your booking clients all is right now open?
Yes, my booking for whatever is remaining of August. August is kind of pretty booked up, but
Perfect.
September will be coming out August
Wonderful.
15th.
Awesome.
So
Okay. Oh, so that's how you do it? Like you release your dates?
I release it every 15th of the month.
Oh,
yes.
okay. That's a good process. I should have asked you a little bit more.
That also lets me disconnect as well.
Oh, yeah, that makes
I'm able
sense.
to preview my month before.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, folks, go find Jasy on social. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for your time today, telling us about everything you're doing here, inviting us into your space, taking time away from clients to talk with us. I know some folks will get a lot out of this, so thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me today.
Wonderful.